So he says that I can show this on screen because he's out of esports and he doesn't care. Or he says that I can I can talk about it. So let me just talk about it. Just saw your Fnatic video, and you're on point regarding management, by the way. I quit 2 years ago because Sam and Dardo, despite still having 2 years of contract, they both have no clue about anything performance-related, and as a team, we had absolutely no support. This is something that I used to hear about pretty often in 2019, 2020, even when they were like trying to hire me. Literally, me not joining Fnatic came down to an argument over $1,000 a month. It literally came down to an argument over $1,000 a month. And I was just looking at it like, this is like really weird because I was getting offered so much more by other orgs. It was just very strange. So but not only that, if you guys, remember some of the like stream stories of like Fnatic players from like 2019 and 2020, there's not a whole lot of internal support that goes on with Fnatic. Fnatic, now again, I've only had extremely wonderful conversations with Sam as like a person. With Karn, I think Karn is someone that I've known for like 12 years. Karn seems very capable from everything that I've ever seen. I have nothing but good things to say about Karn. They lucked out of their mind. They lucked out of their mind with Pete. Swaspala, the videographer guy that they have on the team. Pete is also extremely overworked and he gets grossly underpaid. The other thing about Fnatic is the type of thing. Fnatic is like, let me explain. Let me use an analogy that like I might that maybe some people might get. Imagine a foster home where there's a lot of foster kids in the foster house. And the parents get a ton of paychecks and benefits from the government, and the parents get all the money, but then the inside of the house is just shit, and everything is the absolute bare minimum for the social workers, and the kids get nothing, and the parents keep everything. That is basically it. It is as if like the kids are just there to fund the paychecks and like make everything else like really good. That was the way I interpreted a lot of the stuff that would be told to me from people, as well as even like what you can see in the videos of like just the setup and everything that they have. It doesn't look good. It does not look like there's a lot of reinvestment actually into the org. It looks like it's all about just profits. And that's just how it is. So that's like one of the negative things I can say about Fnatic. Anyways, torpedoed my whole career because of them. Also, they fully knew Selfmade was a liability going into spring 2021. Nobody on the team wanted to play with him, and they benched Nemesis instead. To my knowledge, and my memory could be incorrect here, they had one-on-one player meetings going into 2021. And in the one-on-one player meetings, various players said who they did and didn't want to play with. That is what Tolkien is referring to here. Whippo and Hillisang apparently wanted Selfmade out. And Yamato and I were supportive, even though we had just arrived on the team because we valued having players who wanted to play together. Now, this is really strange because I do not believe that Tolkien was actually joining Fnatic until these decisions were all made, because Nemesis was already out of Fnatic at this point because I was trying to get him onto T1 and onto Gen G. So some people don't know this, but Nemesis was supposed to have a meeting with Joe Marsh and John Kim, and he was supposed to fly out with Crownshot from Slovenia. While they were going to go to the airport the next day, I think Crownshot's father was going to drive or something like that. Crownshot tested positive for COVID, and so Crownshot wasn't going to come, and I kept trying to push Nemesis to come anyway so that he could actually get out of quarantine in time and meet Joe Marsh and John Kim, so that Nemesis could potentially join T1 as a content creator alongside me. Nemesis did not want to go on the plane alone. So Nemesis did not want to go on the plane alone, and he said that he would end up delaying it. After they ended up delaying it and everything that ended up going on with me, John Kim and Joe basically just said that maybe hiring another Western content creator would not be a good idea because of the, the Korean fan sentiment, and they already had me. And so that was like what was going on there. But Nemesis had already made the decision to like leave Fnatic. There was also going to be a thing where if I did choose to do like the strategical coaching role on T1 or something like that, Nemesis could have potentially like helped in some capacity, like on C1. Like this was a conversation that was happening in October, end of October, early November, with what was going on with T1. And so Nemesis was already out of the team at that point. Nemesis also knew, if we go really far back, and there's clips on YouTube about this, that he was already basically going to be removed before 2021 anyway, right? And this is like the whole Worlds drama and everything else that ended up going on. Anyways, moving on from there, I end up talking to Arnold from Genji, and I end up getting Crownshot and Nemesis onto Genji. And originally, I mean, it was like back and forth for a while, and then obviously you guys know Nemesis finally came out to Korea in April of 2021. So that was what was going on. Anyways, moving forward, so the reason that I'm saying that this is very strange is because the timeline doesn't totally make sense with this message, because Nemesis is already gone by this point. By the time all of this is happening, Nemesis is already gone. So I don't understand why Tolkien is saying about the Yamato and the self-made stuff. Okay. Dardo pushed and said Selfmade was the right player and we had to keep him with Whippo and Hillisang. Then, wow, surprise, we had a terrible team environment. Now, I believe that there's one other person that knows that the team environment is absolutely horrendous, and he would very oftentimes talk about how bad the team environment was and things that he would observe. This person is the cook. Whoever is the cook at Fnatic, I do not know who the name is. He would listen in on team meetings, he would listen in on scrim feedback, he'd listen in on everything, and to my knowledge, he would talk with Nemesis sometimes. And the cook, whoever the cook was, would give his insight into how dysfunctional some things were on Fnatic. But obviously, it's not his place to say. Okay. Dardo pushed, said Selfmade was the right player, and we keep Whippo and Hilly, then wow, surprise, we had a terrible team environment. My career in esports is over anyways, so you can quote me if you want. I'm still pissed at them for making me waste 4 months of my life moving from Japan to Germany to completely fuck it up. I can understand his frustration and everything with doing something like that. Obviously, like, I had an extremely large nightmare last year, right? With, going to LA and potentially risking and ruining my whole Korean citizenship stuff. So, yeah, we're going to be in draft in a second. So give me a second here.